choosing the right camera could be difficult. Believe me, I've been there. It's not like you're just choosing what you're gonna have for lunch. And both your art and your work are going to be influenced by the strengths and weaknesses of your camera. And not to mention, camera gear isn't cheap by any stretch of the imagination. And honestly, not only do I believe that the Canon EOS R is still worth the money today, but that this may prove to be one of those timeless cameras that people are still using even 10 to 15 years down the road. And today I'm going to tell you all the reasons why I love my EOS R. But you know what? I'm getting kind of tired of being in the studio. Let's go see what the weather's like. Maybe we could shoot the rest of the video out there. Snap. That looks mesmerizing. Look at the way the wind is blowing on the grass. A beautiful spring day in Turkey. There's no way I'm staying in the studio. So yeah, I remember when this camera first came out about 4 years ago. A lot of people were knocking the EOS R because the specs seemed a bit underwhelming compared to the cameras from the competition. But none of those initial negative reviews aged well at all, because it turned out to be one of the most popular cameras, both for photography and for video. And at the time, I was shooting with the Canon M50, which is another one of those cameras that I don't see going away anytime soon. Now, considering that the specs of both of these cameras weren't that competitive at the time that it was released, then it's certain that neither one of these cameras are going to be able to compete with modern cameras that are being released in 2022. And that's exactly what perplexes me. I did a Google trend search the other day and I looked at the data, and to my surprise, the Canon M50 is still the most popular camera and the EOS R is coming in at number 2. And that's including other cameras from other manufacturers such as the Sony a7S III, the Sony a7 IV, also the Canon R5, R6. The EOS R is still more popular than all those cameras. And after having used the EOS R for over a year now, I think I have a pretty good idea why that is.
Tek. Tek. Bunlar ekip. Annesi bu tüylü olan. Yeni dünya.
Subhanallah.
Bebe.
Maşallah.
Öteki tek. Bursa'da yaşıyor bunlar. Merinos.
Merinos.
Evet.
Teşekkürler Yahya. Maşallah.
Görüşürüz. Çok memnun oldum.
İnşallah valla.
Tabii görüşürüz. Görüşürüz.
Man, it's a shame I couldn't understand him. He seemed like such a nice guy. I really need to learn this language, but unfortunately, I've been so busy trying to feed this YouTube algorithm, I really haven't had a chance. So if I had to describe the image coming out of the EOS R in one word, it would be organic. The majority of photos and footage is gonna have people in it. And the way that Canon cameras handle skin tones and colors is pretty amazing. And I'm saying that even while I'm contemplating possibly switching to the Sony a7 IV. And even though I still prefer the image coming out of Canon cameras, other manufacturers have some strengths as well. So then where does the EOS R with its current $1,800 price tag fit into this landscape? The only thing that is really missing from my style of filmmaking is 120 frames per second and also 60 frames per second in 4K. So if you're not interested in filming a lot of slow motion, then it might be perfect for you. And the fact that the EOS R only has digital stabilization and it doesn't have IBIS is actually a plus. Because when we look at the R6 and the R5, what messed those cameras up in my opinion, and the reason why I wouldn't switch them out with the EOS R even if they were the same price, is because of the horrible corner wobbles that you get when shooting wide due to the IBIS. So for me, if I want to upgrade my EOS R, my only other real option is the R5C, which doesn't have that corner wobble issue. But that thing is about $5,000, which is a bit out of my price range. And hence, that's why I'm considering the $2,500 a7 IV. And I have to admit, I do love the image coming out of some of the Panasonic cameras, as well as the Fuji X-T4, and especially the image coming out of the Pocket 6K. But the main issue with all those cameras is that none of them have reliable autofocus, which is a must for the type of run and gun content creation that I do. And even though Sony cameras have just as good, or if not better, autofocus than Canon, one of the major drawbacks that they have is that you still have to use buttons and knobs to change all your camera settings. And that's a bigger deal than most people think. The fact that Canon allows you to change all your camera settings just by tapping the screen means that you could easily operate the camera both from behind and in front of it, which is clutch when filming yourself. And I think that's the secret to the timelessness of the EOS R. It's so straightforward and simple to use, and it gives you beautiful results with very minimal effort. So yeah, at $1,800, I think the Canon EOS R is still one of the best content creation tools out there. Now, if $1,800 is still out of your budget, then you may want to consider the Canon M50. And if you're familiar with this channel, then you already know that I'm all about getting the maximum quality at an affordable price. So if you're into filmmaking, photography, or content creation, then make sure you subscribe for more videos. I left links in the description to the EOS R, as well as other cameras and gear that I found valuable. And you should really watch this video right here if you want to know about the lens that I used to film all the footage that you saw earlier. It's the best quality f2.8 ultra wide zoom lens that I found. And not to mention, the price is nice too. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.